Previously on Broncos franchise, we played our first playoff game of the entire series on the road in Buffalo against the NFL's MVP, Josh Allen, and it did not start off very well. Allen looking deep, he's got Samuel! Nix on first down, looks short, it's intercepted! Rasul Douglas picks it off, and he is gone! Yeah, not good. We find ourselves trailing 14-0 after allowing a couple of big touchdowns at the end of the third quarter. But the team found a way to battle. In the second quarter, a 6-minute drive finished off by a score by who else than Marvin Mims, one of his 7 catches in this game. Later in the first half, Bo Nix on the run would dart into the end zone for a score. We would miss the extra point, but would make up for it in the third quarter with an 8-point possession headlined by this touchdown by Troy Franklin. Into the fourth, on a 3rd and 16, needing a spark, Nix would launch a beauty for Tez Johnson, a 63-yarder to put the Broncos ahead. The lead would not last long, though. The Bills would score a touchdown of their own, and we needed a game-winning drive from our young quarterback. First and goal, under a minute left. Nix scrambles again. He's got space and he's in! Bo Nix with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. And the defense, needing one more stop, got a little bit of help from the Bills, who foolishly did not use any of their 3 timeouts after that sack. And then on a 4th and 17, with the game essentially on the line, needing a first down, they ran play action, fooling absolutely nobody, throwing it shy of the sticks, leading to an incompletion. That's how we won our first playoff game, shocking the world, upsetting the MVP and the red-hot Buffalo Bills. Our Broncos have now won 10 of our last 11 games, but the road is not going to get easier in the second round. Bo Nix and the Broncos are headed on the road down south to Duval County. Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars await us here in the second round of the AFC playoffs. It's been a pretty improbable road for our Denver Broncos, from starting the year 2-5 with a completely broken offense to now 1 win away from the AFC Championship. In the first round of the playoffs, we had some fun matchups. The Falcons and Michael Penix over San Francisco in overtime. The Packers and the Lions take care of business, while the Texans upset Baltimore, meaning we don't have to head to Kansas City. Instead, we're on the road to face off against Jacksonville. Looking at our win against the Bills, I think the big story is the quarterback play. Bo Nix completely outplayed Josh Allen. He was more accurate. He pushed the ball downfield. Bo Nix had one of his best games as a Bronco, whereas Josh Allen, the MVP winner, struggled for the most part. Marvin Mims, regular day in the office. Troy Franklin and Tez Johnson both had some big plays. And then the defense was really solid. The strength of this defense has been the front 7, the pass rush, the run defense. That was not really the case today, though. The Bills ran the ball well, and our pass rush was quiet. Nick Benito, the Defensive Player of the Year, was silenced. However, it was the secondary, who's been inconsistent throughout the year, the biggest reason why we won. The coverage and the tackling in the back end was absolutely phenomenal, and without them, we would not have won this game. That brings us here to round 2 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the first thing I notice about this team is that they're incredibly balanced. They don't really have any major strengths. They're not in the top 10 in any major team statistical category, but they have no weaknesses. We saw these guys back in week 5 during the heart of our 5-game losing streak, losing 30-18, where Trevor Lawrence played really well and Bo Nix really did not. Travis Etienne got injured early in the game, so Quinshon Judkins was the lead runner for the Jags, and while he was not very good, their top 3 receivers, Thomas, Kirk, and Davis, all scored. The defense was not great. The offense really struggled, but obviously we're a completely different team to what we were back in week 5. The Jags started the year off 5-2 before losing a couple games in a row, and then from there, they've really buckled down. They've only lost 2 games since week 10. Now, the interesting thing about this Jaguars team is outside of their blowout Week 17 win against a bad Seahawks team, their only other win by multiple possessions was the game against us back in Week 5. In the first round of the playoffs, they went on the road, narrowly beating Quinn Ewers and the Steelers 31-29. Another close win for the Jaguars, which has been their forte throughout the year. These guys don't blow anybody out. They keep it close. They know how to win late, and they're able to do so on the road against the Steelers. Of course, Trevor Lawrence leads the way, the fifth-year quarterback out of Clemson, who with a morale boost is a 93 overall. The AFC has so much young talent at quarterback. Obviously, Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Lamar, Herbert. But now with guys like Trevor Lawrence and Anthony Richardson really emerging, feels like every damn team in this conference has a good quarterback. Travis Etienne, unlike the Week 5 game, should be healthy and good to go. Of course, they've got a great group of skill position players with the 3 receivers and Colston Loveland at tight end. Of course, defensively, they're led by Josh Hines-Allen, one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. And again, a really balanced unit behind him. A pretty good defensive line, a pretty good linebacking core, and a pretty good secondary. This team doesn't have a ton of star power outside of Hines-Allen and Trevor Lawrence, but they don't have many holes on their roster. And Trevor Lawrence has proven to be a good playoff quarterback. Of course, he had the big comeback against the Chargers in his second season, winning on the road here against the Steelers. It seems like in big games, Trevor Lawrence plays his best football dating back to his collegiate career when he won a national championship as a true freshman with the Clemson Tigers. So let's get this show on the road. Denver will open up on defense, and so we'll start things off taking a look at Trevor Lawrence, the fifth-year signal caller who's had a really good season. He was in the mix for the MVP award, ultimately losing to Josh Allen at the Bills. But Trevor Lawrence has been fantastic this year, amongst the league leaders in passing yards and passing touchdowns. Did throw 14 interceptions, though, and the turnovers have kind of been the issue with Trevor Lawrence throughout his career. So if we can send him pressure and force him into turning the ball over, that might be our best avenue defensively of limiting him. Lawrence on the draw, loses 3. Jonathan Cooper brings him down. What a season it's been for him. 11 sacks, including the playoff game against Buffalo for Cooper, who's broken out into a star for us. 2nd and 13, Lawrence with a strike downfield. It's a first down reception for Big Game Gabe, another guy who historically plays really well in the playoffs in Gabe Davis. 3rd and 2, Lawrence goes short. It's caught. Davis again with the first down to the 46. Denver was an off coverage there. Trevor Lawrence able to thread the needle through the soft zone as it's now 2nd and 9. Lawrence goes short. That's the fullback who loses yardage. Jonah Ellis brings him down, and now we look at a 3rd and 11 for the Jacksonville offense. They've had a pretty good start to the drive, but we'll see if they can convert here. Looks like a screen, and it goes in the ground. So Denver's defense is able to start things off with a stop, and now we take a look at the offense. Bo Nix is peaking at the right time. Through the first half of the year, he was not doing well. The receivers were not doing well. The offensive line was not doing well. And that's changed here in the second half of the year. Now, sure, the receiver play and the offensive line play is still inconsistent, but it's been a lot better. And Bo Nix has went from a pretty bad quarterback into a pretty good one as this year is going along. From the 10, curls get the girls. Marvin Mims has been so good ever since coming back from injury. I think that's the biggest reason why the offensive production on this team has changed. Lawrence is sacked, though, on 2nd down. Caden Woolard, the rookie out of Oklahoma, drafted late in the 2nd round, is there to bring him down. That was a 2nd and short. Nix wanted to go deep, figuring at the very least, if it's incomplete, it'll be 3rd and short, but he gets sacked, and now it's 3rd and long. Under pressure, throws out of the sack from Josh Hines-Allen. There is a penalty. I don't think it's going to really matter. It's a holding call against Denver on Morgan Moses, the veteran tackle. That one will be declined, and the Broncos punted away. So neither team scores on their opening possession as we take another look at the Jaguars offense at the 21. Trevor Lawrence with all day to throw it, looking downfield, one-on-one coverage. It's caught. Travis Etienne gets 64 yards. Bringing it to the 17. Marvin Grant stood with him stride for stride, but the footwork at the end allows Etienne to get some space and make the catch. Loveland gets by Grant and brings it to the 6. As good of a rookie year as Marvin Grant has had, I don't think he's played very well since coming back from injury over these last few weeks. 1st and goal now for Jacksonville, looking to punch it in. RPO. Etienne bounces off a blocker, breaks the tackle from Surtain, and he's in for a score. Jacksonville strikes first, a huge drive from Travis Etienne, and it's 7-0 Jaguars. We'll see if the Broncos can respond. They were down big at the end of the first quarter against Buffalo. It's not unfamiliar territory. Nix on 1st down, rolls to the left. Nobody's open except for all this space ahead. Scrambles for a gain of around 12. A good run for Bo Nix, who is effective as a runner. Only scored 1 rushing touchdown in the entirety of the regular season this year, but had 2 in the wild card win over the Bills. Looking for the sideline. It's hauled in at the 45 by Marvin Mims, who's off to a big start. Mims has caught every one of Bo Nix's passes so far. 2nd and 1, 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Nix looking downfield for guess who? You can call him 7-11 because he's always open. Marvin Mims with the reception to the 17-yard line. Possibly the final play of the first quarter. Broncos looking to tie the game here. Nix looks to throw it up the middle. Marvin Mims is in for a score. Bo Nix goes 4 of 8 in the first quarter for 64 yards. Mims was targeted 5 times. He ends up with 4 catches. All of Bo Nix's completions ended up in the hands of Mims. And through 1, we're tied at 7. It's been the Marvin Mims show up to this point. The Jaguars have not been able to cover him. Mims, if you remember, got injured the week before we played the Jags earlier in the year, so they didn't have to face him. And so far, they've got no answers for the star receiver. Both offenses looking good on their previous drives as that brings us into the second quarter. Jacksonville looking to respond. Play action. Lawrence has an open man in the flat. It's Travis Etienne. Denver had a lot of guys going after the quarterback, stacking the box, but whoever was matched up with Etienne left their assignment to blitz, and, well, it backfires. 3rd and 10 now from the 46. Lawrence looks to throw it under a little more pressure here, and that one is incomplete at the feet of his intended target. So the Jags punt it, and the Broncos get it back, looking to take their first lead of the game. 2nd and 3 at the 47-yard line with 7 to go in the quarter. Play action. Here's Nix. Under pressure, and he is sacked. The former number 1 pick, Trayvon Walker, brings him down. And again, on a 2nd and short, we're looking deep. And again, it backfires a lot. 3rd and 12 now from the 44. Nix under more pressure. Sacked again. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker bring him down. The offensive line has not been good so far. Nix has been sacked 3 times. A big start for Trayvon Walker, who, if you remember back on our Titans franchise a couple years ago, was our big rival when he injured Malik Willis. Trevor Lawrence keeps it himself. He ends up running for a first down. Trevor Lawrence not known for his rushing ability, but he can move a little bit. 3rd and 8, Lawrence under pressure, and he is sacked. There he is, the Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Benito. Him and Lawrence scuffling after the play. A big sack by Benito, who was very quiet in the game against Buffalo and in the Week 18 game against the Colts. But he's in for the sack after finishing with 15.5 in the regular season. Denver back with it. RPO. Harrison Whaley keeps it, and he loses yardage. A loss of around 2. It's Jordan Jefferson, the young defensive tackle out of LSU, bringing him down. And now we're looking at a 3rd and 7 following the 2-minute warning. Nix looks to throw it as an open man. It's Marvin Mims who gets it past the 45. But unfortunately, the first down will not count. This one is coming back. A holding call on the right tackle, Mike McGlinchey. The offensive line has been penalized a few times today, and when they're not getting penalized, they're probably getting beat. 3rd and 17, play action. It will be a pass. Nix downfield with a strike. It's hauled in at the 41 by Troy Franklin for a first down. What a throw. Threading the needle between 3 defensive backs. Bo Nix would not have made that throw in Week 5. That shows how much he's gotten better, as that time he's incomplete. Tyson Campbell with the deflection. Marvin Mims was open. If he puts a little more loft on that pass, that's a touchdown. 4th and 1 at the 32. We're going to risk it for the biscuit. Keep the offense on the field. It's a pitch for Zamir White to the outside. It's going to be close, and he does not get it. Jacksonville with the stop. Isaiah Simmons brings him down. Denver held off the board, and it'll remain tied at 7. And now Jacksonville with a chance to take the lead. It was a risky decision to go for it. We could have been ahead with a 49-yard field goal. Not a gimme, though, and Lutz did miss 2 kicks a week ago. Lawrence looking for the sideline. That one is caught for a first down. It's Gabe Davis, once again, who continues to be the go-to guy through the air, as Christian Kirk and Bryce Thomas Jr. have both been quiet. Screen here for Etienne on 3rd and 4. He gets the first down, wrapped up by Surtain and Moss. And the Jaguars will elect to use a timeout here with 48 seconds. Now a 2nd and 10, nearing field goal range for the young kicker Cam Little, as Lawrence up the middle. He's got the rookie. Colston Loveland gets 20 and that brings them half the distance to the end zone as they use another timeout. Following play, Lawrence goes short. It's Christian Kirk, nearly gets the first down, and now Jacksonville's got to move fast, going no huddle, being out of timeouts from the 11, second and inches. Lawrence cannot be tackled in the field of play. He throws it away. Probably the smart decision there. No reason to really gamble with it. And with 6 seconds to go, they're going to kick. I think this is probably the right call. Take the lead before half. The field goal on its way is good from 28 yards out by Cam Little, the second-year pro out of the University of Arkansas. And the Jaguars go into halftime leading this one 10-7. It's been a defensive battle so far. Both teams had some nice drives. Both quarterbacks have looked fairly good, but neither offense has consistently been able to move the ball down the field. Of course, the winner of this game is either headed to Arrowhead to see Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, or they will host the Houston Texans in the AFC Championship game. That matchup has not happened yet, so unlike last week, you won't be able to get any spoilers at the bottom of your screen because, well, there's nothing to spoil. Into the second half now. Again, I think Bo Nix has played a pretty good game. Perfect passer rating in the intermediate area of the field. Had that big throw late to Franklin. Marvin Mims has been balling, but I want to get the short game more efficient. And then defensively, Trevor Lawrence has had some nice throws like Bo Nix, but similarly, their offense hasn't consistently moved the ball. 3rd and 1, RPO. Javonte does not get it. We wanted to have 2 chances to get the first down, but they covered the receiver. It would have been Franklin. And they clogged the rushing lane. So there's no chance for us to get the first down as Jacksonville gets it back. 3rd and 15. Lawrence rolls out, scrambles with it, tries to run for the first down, and he does not get it. A big tackle by Marvin Grant, saving the defensive possession, forcing a punt. Both teams with early stops on defense as the Broncos get it back on offense. 2nd and 6. Short throw, caught by Zamir White, who breaks a tackle with space. First down to the 45-yard line. A nice play there by Zamir White, who's done some good things over the last couple of weeks for this offense as a change of pace back behind Javonte Williams. 3rd and 4. Nix under pressure. He is sacked. Josh Hines-Allen is second at the game, living up to the billing as a true superstar. And the Broncos would elect to punt it away. They were in field goal range before that sack. If you're Bo Nix, you cannot let that happen, because at the very least they should have gotten 3, but instead they have to punt it away. Jags back with it. Colston Loveland to the 23 for a first down. That'll move the chains for the Jaguars. It's now a 3rd and 9 from the 24. Not much offense here throughout the third, but here's Davis, wide open! Big game Gabe is gone! 76-yarder to the house, and the Jaguars lead by 10. The rookie corner, Savon Revel, is the one who loses the rep off the line. It's been a disastrous end of the year for Savon Revel. That is now 4 consecutive weeks where he's allowed a line touchdown. In our biggest games of the year, he's really struggling. We're not going to let him back on the field defensively. He has just been a liability for us in coverage. Offense back with it. Nice move by Franklin, sliding and spinning his way for a first down to the 49. There's got to be a little sense of urgency now on offense. We're not moving the ball so far in the second half. Jacksonville's up by 10. Here's Nix, goes short. Mims does not get the first down. Tracked down by the speedster Isaiah Simmons. That'll make it a 4th and 2. We're going to go for it. We were unsuccessful on a 4th and 1 at the end of the first half, but I feel like we've got to get a big play, light a spark. Play action for White. Nix has a wide open man downfield. It's Adam Troutman to the 15. The thought process there is that Nix is going to roll out to the right, and it's sort of a levels concept where everybody's going to go to the right. We were hoping somebody would be open in the short game, but Troutman was open deep, which works out even better. 17-7, we've got to outscore them by 10. Here in the 4th, season's on the line. Now the offense is in the red zone. We have a good chance to add some points, preferably 7. Let's see if we can get the job done. Got to outscore the Jaguars by at least 10 over the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, the season's over. 3rd and 8, first down. Marvin Mims gets it to the 1. And Denver's getting awfully close to this end zone. Being down by 10, allowing the big touchdown by Gabe Davis. They knew they had to score a touchdown on this drive, and they do. Javonte Williams walks into the end zone for a touchdown, and the Broncos bring it within 3. Folks, we might be back. Grab your popcorn. It's going to be a fun fourth quarter. So the Jags are going to get it back. They're still up by 3, as it's a 3rd down and 6 at the 30 with 8 to go. The clock is Jacksonville's friend, but there's still a lot of time. Etienne finds a hole, gets the first down. A big gain of 9 for Travis Etienne. And we'll see if the Jaguars are able to use this possession as some momentum to really get something going here on offense, and even more so, choose some clock. They're already doing so. Only 7 left on the play clock. It's Etienne, and he loses 3. Nick Benito and Patrick Surtain are both there to bring him down, the top 2 players on this defense, as it's now a 2nd and 13. Read option. Lawrence, fumble! And it's scooped up by the Jaguars. Oh, man, that was a close one. That was Dietrich Wise with the force. In real time, I thought it was Benito. They were both there in the backfield. It's a holding on Ezra Cleveland, and we're going to decline it. The way I see it is Jacksonville has a better chance of getting a first down, needing 23 yards and having 2 plays to do so, rather than 1 play to get 19 yards. And they're just going to run the ball. They don't want to mess anything up, do anything stupid. And Etienne gets 9. So the defense gets the stop. The decision to decline the penalty pays off, and the Broncos get it back. Under 5 to go, 3rd and 4. Nick scrambles around, can't find anybody, he is sacked. Excellent coverage by Jacksonville as they're able to get the coverage sack, and they'll get the ball back up by 3. There's a chance we don't touch the ball again. Defense has got to get a stop. 3rd and inches, first down. Christian Kirk to the 45, where he's wrapped up by Riley Moss. He was out of bounds, though, to stop the clock, as Etienne has it with plenty of room to the right. Breaks the tackle inside the 25. A field goal does keep it as a 1-score game, so at the very least, we've got to hold them out of the end zone. Under 3 minutes to go, short throw. It's Christian Kirk. Spin move, breaks a tackle, fumbles it, but it's out of bounds at the 4. That was lucky. Patrick Surtain rips it away. Could have been bad news bears for the Jaguars. 1st and goal at the 4. Clock stops after the fumble. Lawrence, option, breaks the tackle, breaks another, and he's in for a score. But there is a flag, and this could be a costly one if it's on Jacksonville, and I believe it will be. A holding call against the Jags. It'll be called on Mitch Morse, the center, so instead of a touchdown, they now have it at the 14-yard line, which makes things a lot more complicated in terms of finding the end zone. I think this is where you're going to start to see the Broncos start to use these timeouts, as Etienne gets a couple to the left side. Jonah Ellis brings him down, and sure enough, timeout number 1 used by the Broncos. Now it's a 2nd and goal from the 12. Lawrence looks to throw it. Interesting decision. Short pass is caught. There is Christian Kirk. That's a nice gain. Gets around 10. Denver uses their 2nd timeout. Now Jacksonville has it at the 2. And if they don't get it on 3rd down, it'll be decision time. Do you kick or do you go for it? Let's see if they can punch it in first here on 3rd and goal. It's a run. Etienne does not get it. Back to the line of scrimmage. Broncos use the last timeout. What do you do if you're Jacksonville? I would probably go for it, because a touchdown makes it a 2-score game. A field goal does not. And even if you don't get it, you back Denver up inside the 5-yard line. So keeping the offense on the field, I think, is the right call. Lawrence, out route, touchdown! Christian Kirk with the score, and the Jags lead by 10. A 4th down touchdown by Jacksonville. And now Denver, without any timeouts, is hanging on for dear life. Morrison on the return gets it past the 30. I know it's unlikely, but I feel like we've got to try to score before the 2-minute warning, because if we don't, and we don't get the onside kick, then the game would be over. So the game plan to start this drive is go big or go home. Nix on 1st down, hit as he throws, it's intercepted. Mike Jackson, with plenty of space, off to the races, and we got our touchdown, but it's from the wrong team. Mike Jackson will beat it into the end zone for a score, and we are now down by 17 points. You can't really blame that one on Nix. He was hit as he threw it. He was looking for Marvin Mims down the field. The corner was not on Mims, so it would have been one-on-one with the safety. We figured it was worth the shot, and obviously the pass was altered by the pressure. So now we're down by 3 scores, and it's really not looking good. Final play before the 2-minute warning. On the run, it's caught at the 49 by Tez Johnson. An impressive throw, and I don't know why they gave Johnson all that space for that much time. as that brings us now to a 3rd and 10. Bo Nix looking to throw it, looking deep. He's got Mims to the 31, his 10th catch of the game, and Denver's moving as fast as they can. No huddle back to the line. 3rd and 10 at the 31. Here is Nix under some pressure. It is caught. Tez Johnson out of bounds at the 12. Could have gotten some more yardage, would have had a chance at the end zone, but he wants to stop the clock. 2nd and 10. Nix, end zone, picked off! Tyson Campbell with the interception, and that's going to do it. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to the AFC Championship game. Nix was looking to move quick, kind of forced it in there for Tez Johnson, but Campbell makes the play, and the Cinderella run is over. The clock has struck midnight. The slipper no longer fits. Jacksonville's season continues, and for the Broncos, it's over. And this one's going to sting. I mean, our team's been playing so well. We beat Buffalo in the first round, and even though we lost by 17 points here, the game was a lot closer than the score suggests. With 3 minutes left, we were down by 3. But a couple of interceptions and the 4th down touchdown ultimately lead to Jacksonville adding some nice insurance. And yeah, this one's going to sting. It always hurts losing in the NFL playoffs, especially when you got a team who's capable of doing something special. But look, we did something special. We were 2-5, and we won 9 of our last 10 games of the regular season. Everybody counted this team out, and understandably so. We were horrible through 7 weeks, but we've gotten so much better as this year has gone along. We'll be able to hang our heads high on this season down the line, and there's a lot of optimism now going into the offseason because our team is a force to be reckoned with. Now, Trevor Lawrence had another great game against us. That's 2 for him this year. Bo Nix, I know the numbers don't look great, 58% completion percentage, had the 2 interceptions, but I think he was a lot better than the numbers suggested. He had the 2 interceptions late. Neither of them were entirely on him. He had to force passes downfield, which also led to a lot of incompletions down the stretch, hurting his completion percentage. On the ground, Javonte Williams was fine. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't good. It'll be an interesting decision with his contract this offseason. Travis Etienne played well. Marvin Mims had a good game. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Tez Johnson, all playing well. The offensive line really struggled. Quinn Miners, man, we're paying you all this money to do that. Miners has been inconsistent over the past 2 seasons in the regular season, and here in the playoffs, he was bad in both games. Nick Bonitto had a good day, though, much better than the last couple of weeks, looking more like the defensive player of the year that we know him out to be. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker combined for 3.5 sacks, but they both got injured late in this game. That could be bad news for the Jags. They, of course, had the 2 interceptions. We forced a pair of fumbles, unable to recover either of them. So with that, the season is over. Broncos country, the ride for this year is done. I do want to point out that Bo Nix won the AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. I didn't show it, but that is pretty cool. And now going into the offseason, we've got some decisions to make. Bo Nix has looked considerably better as this year has gone along. But the rest of this roster, although there's a lot of promise, there's still a lot of improvement that needs to be made as well. It's going to be a lot easier knowing that we have a top 5 pick in our arsenal, number 5 from the Jets. We've got a good amount of cap flexibility, but we've also got a lot of guys who are not under contract this year. Nick Bonitto is the big one, and I haven't exactly hid my intentions on what we're going to do with him. But outside of Nick Bonitto, we've got a lot of other guys here. Javonte Williams, John Franklin Myers, Jonathan Cooper, and others who all need new deals. We've got $160 million to spend, and now we look to be a free agent destination for players who want to go to a winner, now that we've made the playoffs for the first time in a decade. It should be a fun offseason upcoming, and for the purpose of speed, I think the next episode we're going to do both free agency and the draft preview. I'm not 100% sure on that, but for right now, that's the plan. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Broncos country, let's ride.